Please come and take your seats. We'll get started in just a minute.
You have the other mic over there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Nestor. I help lead our human rights work in our advisory services practice based in San Francisco and help to organize the Sustainability Hackathon this year. We are thrilled to welcome to the stage in a few moments the top 3 teams from the 2014 BSR Sustainability Hackathon as the final part of the competition.
And good morning from me. I'm Melanie Janin, Managing Director of Communications at BSR. Based on the success of our first Sustainability Hackathon at BSR's conference last year, we decided to host a similar event this year to inspire tech developers in New York to build technology solutions that help address sustainability challenges. First, for those of us who are not millennials, a hackathon is an event where computer developers and designers come together for a very short amount of time to connect with each other, exchange ideas, and build working prototypes of technology applications. They usually occur over the weekend and usually involve lots of caffeine. The challenge that we put to hackers in New York was build a technology application on a platform of your choice that will help solve an environmental or social sustainability challenge in 30 hours over one weekend.
We were inspired this year by the success that our winning teams from last year have had. The first place team from last year, a group called Watt Time, used the prize money to establish a nonprofit, and they are continuing to develop the devices that make it easier for consumers to switch to clean energy, which they demoed on the BSR conference stage last year. The second place team, a team called Product Bio, is currently in the accelerator program at Code for America and is continuing to develop technology tools that provide increased transparency into supply chains. That's a great story of impact coming directly out of our conference last year, and we wanted to repeat that again this year in New York.
And this year, again with the generous support of our lead sponsor, Qualcomm, we held the hackathon this past weekend on Saturday and Sunday at the beautiful and inspiring Urban Future Lab in Brooklyn. 27 hackers, hours from Saturday afternoon to Sunday night, building a technology application that would have a positive impact on the world. 11 different teams presented projects to us on Sunday night, and in our preliminary voting round, we narrowed it down to our top 3 teams. And those 3 teams are here today with us to present.
All right. And before we get to the presentations, we put together just a short video recap of the weekend to try to capture the energy and the inspiration for us here this morning. So let's take a look.
We're building a marketplace for industrial byproducts and connecting people who can use them and people who usually send it to the landfill.
We're building like something that we like to call an incident command center. It's like, we know something's wrong. We just want to know where it's wrong.
We're going to have a panel of judges here that will pick the top 3 that will go on to present at the conference on Thursday.
Working on eliminating the massive amount of food waste that we have in New York City and around the world.
Technology enables us to have more transparency into social and environmental problems, and it allows us to collect more data to help us define the problem even better so that we can genuinely develop transformative solutions. That's exactly what we are trying to inspire and enable at the BSR Hackathon this year.
All right. Good. Before we go on, let's give a big round of applause to all of our hackers. You're live. Good. While the hacking occurred over the weekend, the hackathon is not over yet, and that's where we all come in today. So the top teams are about to come up and present their hacks to you and our panel of distinguished judges. Like we did last year, we will combine the audience vote with the judges' vote to determine the winner of the $4,000 grand prize, the $2,000 runner-up prize, and the $1,000 third place prize. Each team will have 4 minutes to present their hacks to you.
Our judges this year, besides all of you in the audience, are from Qualcomm, Jennifer Aerosmith, the Senior Manager of Global Social Responsibility, and Emily Wheeler, the Director of NYC Acre and the Urban Future Lab. As we've said, the third judge is all of you. Once the presentations are done, we'll show you how to cast your vote using the BSR app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, now's your time. And we will announce the winning team later this morning.
Great. And just before we get started, one reminder on the judging criteria as you keep in mind to weigh who should be awarded the grand prize. 3 criteria: the originality of the idea, the opportunity for impact, and the connection to our theme, transparency and transformation. Great. Let's get started. Let's welcome to the stage our first team, Food E. This is a husband and wife team of Sean and Mary Oriti. Give them a big round of applause.
Did you guys see all the food out there? Did you see it? Do you think we're going to eat it all? No. And you know what? There's 1.2 million tons of food in New York City alone that is wasted and thrown out and brought to the landfill in trucks that put greenhouse gases into the air. And 1.2 million tons. In case you don't know what that is offhand, an elephant is 1 ton, right? So now picture 1 million elephants. And think of that as a big pile of food being thrown away. Actually, not just being thrown away, being driven and piled up and thrown away. And not only the environmental impact, but we all know about all the hunger in the world. 14% of people in the United States are hungry. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. So what is our solution? Something that we built just one part of at the hackathon, and we had a challenge to kind of, well, let me see how it works a little bit better. So we built the rest of it with our children, and they helped paint it and put it together. And it is the Foodie, a robotic food exchange system. So instead of just taking your food, this beautiful pumpkin bread, right, and putting it in the trash, we can put it in one of these chambers and have it be there for somebody to take later. So this is kind of like what a garbage would be. But instead of garbage, you have a clear container that you can put food in. You can see we made it fun. So it's more fun with these sounds to throw your food in here than to throw it in the garbage. And you can see what Sean's doing is he's setting how long this food would be kept here. This is just a prototype, so naturally we'd have something more heating and cooling, so you can choose if it's heat needed to keep it longer or to keep it cool. So he has the hours. He's going to select hot, confirm. He has the food. And we have the different languages for all the diversity that we have in the world. And now, if somebody, of all the hungry people there, or people that just want to have a diversity of food that they don't want to, you know, if you live in a building with 120 units like we do and you smell everybody's great food that they're cooking, it's like, I wonder if they have any leftovers for me. Maybe we could have a system like this in our building so we can get that food from them. So this is how we go and get food. Sean? You see the items on the screen you can pick. So instead of going to a soup kitchen where you just get food that's already there, you actually have some choices. And we have a robotic opening, and there's a sign-up system, and there we are. How does that pumpkin bread taste, Sean? Yummy, right?
Say it expires.
And so but for some reason, if somebody does not want this pumpkin bread, they think it's stale, is it going to go to the landfill? No. It is going to be pulled down and go into show the compost bin. Over here. And now this can go to the compost bin, and you can put it in your garden to grow your own pumpkins. So we are transforming our waste system. We aren't letting this food just go into the landfill, taken away with trucks. We're going to put it out in a beautiful display for people to come and eat when they want. And they choose and have them all around the city and the world. And thank you.
Good job. Okay, great. Well, while they're getting this taken down, we'll bring up our next team. And it was amazing to see Sean come in. He arrived at the hackathon at about 5 p.m. on Saturday, literally sat in one chair for 24 hours, and started programming and hooking up things to one of the plexiglass boxes. We should note, in the spirit of the competition, the whole device was not built over the weekend, but it sounds like they had some family help in the last couple of days. But Sean sat there and sort of programmed the whole thing and hooked it up and slammed more Red Bull than I have ever seen anyone drink. So, good. Thank you, guys. Our second team are two guys that met on Saturday for the first time. They are called the Incident Command Ecosystem. Please welcome Miguel Cabrera and Philippe Baba.
Thank you. Good morning. As Peter mentioned, my name is Miguel.
My name is Philip.
And we are addressing the problem and the inefficiencies of communications with emergency crisis, storm weather-related issues. I know firsthand how frustrating it is to. I know firsthand how frustrating it is to try to get your life back together after a storm. You're knee-high, full of water, flooded. Sometimes we have trees down in your community, and you're listening on hold, waiting, listening to music, trying to communicate with the agencies. So what we've done is we looked at the common denominator. What is it that the emergency responders need, and what is it that the victims or affected community needs? And what we need is more transparency across the board. I want to be more transparent as an emergency responder and tell you about what we're doing. And what I need from the community, from the people, is the 4 basic W's: what, where, when, and who. And I need that as soon as possible. It's frustrating for the phone representatives as well, because they hear your frustration and they don't have the information to give out to you. And it's also frustrating for me because I have to coordinate with police, fire, and medical, and also do a damage assessment that requires hundreds of vehicles to go out and drive around aimlessly looking for this down trees or situation. So I would like to pass it over to Felipe, who's going to show us how we went ahead and mitigated this problem.
So we've developed an incident command ecosystem that we're looking to alleviate problems like what Miguel just mentioned. Miguel has experience on the field working as a responder, and like he said, the main issue is getting the crucial information, the 4 W's: who, what, where, and when. And if you're doing it over the phone, it takes far too long to do so. So I'm just going to mirror it right here. I'm already mirrored. All right. So.
You're not up yet on the iPhone. Can we queue up on the...
Yeah, the app is up. So we developed a system that allows you to very easily report issues. So right here, we can see we have the what and the where very easily. So if I just spot an issue, I can quickly snap a photo of it. Here we have, notice, we use a graphical way to describe these issues because we want to keep it with as little language as possible for people that speak different languages. We want to make it very user-friendly and simple to report these issues. So we can easily choose the different categories of the report that we want. Send the report. And in under a minute, Miguel now in the back end has the who, the what, the where, and the when. So if we can quickly cue back to the back end. So this is our back end administrator panel. As you can see, right here we have all the reports coming in. We can see a quick description of what's going on, no lights, technical issue. We have an image. We can browse all of our incidents, see the addresses of these incidents, and we cut down that time that it takes for you to be on hold to wait 15 to 20 minutes to just even say that you have a problem.
And what's great about this system that now as an incident commander, I don't have to deploy as many crew out there to do damage assessment. I could use the geomap, all the photos that are aggregated, and I could now see very easily and share with the community. Because for what I experienced, people don't mind so much that we have problems with the weather. As with incidents, they mind more that there's no transparency across the board. And this could save millions of dollars that in turn, with my inefficiencies, you pay it as a ratepayer and taxpayer. So thank you so much.
And just to wrap up pretty much, so we might be wondering what would set us apart in a system like this. So what is really crucial is we want that one-to-one communication with the responder. So the moment you send that message out, you're connected to Miguel on the back end, and he could keep you posted on what's going on with the system. And we really are passionate about developing this solution. We believe it will provide transparencies for community and sustainability, get these trucks off the road, help with the damage assessment in the community. Thank you so much.
All right, good. Thanks to the incident command ecosystem. We'll get our third team set up here and welcome them to the stage. Again, a team that met for the first time on Saturday at the Hackathon. This is Team Rise, and it consists of Martine, Jessica, Bertha, Remington, Josh, and Nilufar.
Clear this out of the way.
So good morning, we are Team RISE, and if you wonder what RISE means, it stands for Real-Time in Exchange Industrial Symbiosis. And as Peter said, we just met at the Hackathon. We have the idea, and we connected with developer and designer that helped ground the idea of industrial symbiosis. So many of you might know this idea, so it's like how the byproducts of a company could become the raw material of another company. And many of you might have been doing this, but we want to scale it. And that's why we came up with this idea of a platform. So to give you a little example of what industrial symbiosis process could be, let's say we have a beer process. And then the main waste is beer spent grain. And beer spent grain could be thrown to the landfill and be part of the industrial waste, or it could be used to improve the characteristics of bricks, to make food, to feed animals, to make enzymes, additives, and so many things. And we're trying to bring this stuff for industries in this platform so we can connect manufacturers with their industrial byproducts to other companies to use it as raw material. And now Josh will talk about our platform.
Good morning. Let's say that Mrs. Nguyi decides it's time for PepsiCo to get into the beer business. She's heard about our platform and she wants to cut some of her bottom line expenses. So she can come to the platform and register Pepsi brews. Why have the blues when you could have great brews? Great. So now she has her company in here and she wants to start in Brooklyn because she's a smart woman and she knows that New York has a great beer culture. And she's going to assign this location to be managed by Bill Nye. Bill at PepsiBrews.com. So he'll be able to then log in and manage his location. Oop. Excuse me. Find by at u dot true u dot save. So that's a little bit of code in the terminal. All right, so he logs in and he's able to manage his Brooklyn location. And he says, you know, we have some beer, spent grain here, lots. We've got 40 tons in our first brew, and we're going to sell it for $500 per ton. Great. Here it's listed. Now a buyer might come to the system, and when the buyer logs in to buy that beer spent grain, they're going to search for the grain, and they're going to see here this beer spent grain managed by Bill Nye. And they already have a relationship with him, so they want to buy from him.
Yes, do have. So we think that the next process, the next step for our team is to think about the business model and think how can we do a trade commission and subscription model. And also we think that with our platform, we will be able to transform the way people think about industrial byproducts and to give transparency to the waste disposal process. Thank you so much. If you want to know more about us, please contact us.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Nice job on the Friday.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you,
Great.
Peter.
Thank you. All right, good. And all of the hackers here today will be available outside at the networking break if you'd like to go up and talk to them or have them code you something in real time. All right, now it's your turn. Real quick, if you don't have the BSR app, download it. Go into BSR, into the main page. Swipe one to the right and come over to where it says polls. Click on polls. Click on BSR Conference Hackathon. Click on vote for your favorite hack. And we've got team number 1, Foodie, team number 2, the Incident Command Ecosystem, and team number 3, Rise. We'll keep voting open for the next 45 minutes or so, and we'll be back on stage with results at 10:20. Thank you very much. Good, the results are in. We have combined the judges' votes with the audience vote. And before we announce the results, quickly want to thank our lead sponsor, Qualcomm, the Urban Future Lab, the New York City Economic Development Corporation, all of whom helped pull this off. And again, a huge thanks to our hackers in the back, all of whom are winners today.
Okay. So as Peter just noted, all the hackers are in the back of the room. They are going to be at the Microsoft charging station at the break. So feel free to go out there and chat with all of them and absorb some of their hacking savvy to help you with your sustainability work as you move forward. So we're going to announce the teams, third place, runner-up, and first place. So the third place team is Foodie, Mary and Sean Oridi. Thank you for all of your work on that. The runner-up team is Incident Command Ecosystem, Miguel and Philippe.
Good, and the winning team of the 2014 BSR Sustainability Hackathon is Rise, the real-time industrial symbiosis and exchange. Nice job.
Again, thank you all for helping make our second annual, dare I say, Hackathon, BSR Conference Hackathon a success. And again, chat with them outside if you'd like.